All right, yo, what's up? My name's Patrouski, and these are some of the biggest PvP changes I've ever seen within PokeMMO. There are Pokemon being moved from tiers that they have dominated in for like 2 years and really been meta centralizing. This is insane. I want to preface, this is the October 2023 movement discussion. These movement changes might not go through. They're just up here to be talked about and discussed, and that's the point of this video. We're just going to discuss things. If you agree or disagree with my points, let me know in the description. I always preface PvP videos saying that I don't actively play PvP that much nowadays. I have a lot of long-term history and past with it, but I'm not super active. I'm not going to be the most knowledgeable PvP guy. For that, I usually recommend AFC Adino, but we're going to go ahead and talk about this and get the news and just get my maybe slightly above average player thoughts on in terms of PvP. Now, Pokemon going up to OU, Gastrodon and Bronzong. These two Pokemon going from UU up to OU. Gastrodon is one of those Pokemon that's very meta dependent from my understanding. It's a very interesting Pokemon. It's a very cool Pokemon. It can work on certain niche teams, filling a pretty interesting role. Scald spamming, pretty much just better than Quagsire most of the time. Gastrodon's one of those Pokemon where it's like, oh, if he's in OU, okay, I could kind of see that. If he's in UU, okay, that makes sense. If he's in NU, okay, that makes sense. Like, he's one of the only Pokemon where he could be in any of the 3 tiers and me be like, oh, okay, that actually kind of makes sense. It depends on what he's doing that day. How's the meta looking for him? It's really, really weird Pokemon. Now, Bronzong has been the #1 UU wall, from my understanding, for like 2 years. He has been dominating that tier for a very, very, very long time. And the fact that he's now getting moved up to OU is pretty interesting. I would guess that both of these Pokemon get moved back down. Now, let me go actually preface this really quick. So I do want to say Munya says, final month of the season, 3.75 to go down, 4.75 to go up. What he means by this is usage rate. So if a Pokemon is being used 4.75% of the time within OU, it's going to get moved up, like from UU to OU. And then vice versa, to where if it has a low usage rate, if it has like a 3.75 usage rate in its tier, it'll get moved down. But let's continue on. To UU, so these are Pokemon. We'll see. Wait, a bunch of these are different. So Golem is getting moved up from NU to UU, from my understanding. That's really interesting. That's kind of shocking. There's an insane amount, as you guys can see. This is an absurd amount of NU Pokemon. This is my favorite tier in Pokemon, the tier that I have the most history with. This is an insane amount of Pokemon, dominant Pokemon, being moved from NU to UU. Golem is our best rapid spinner. It sets Stealth Rocks, it runs Custap Berry, you save the Custap proc for later in the game for a free switch in when possible to be able to get off an Explosion, Stealth Rocks, or Rapid Spin. It's very dependent. Ludicolo is one of those Pokemon that, like, kind of similar to Gastrodon, kind of. Ludicolo usually sticks around kind of in NU, UU, or OU. Ludicolo is just a rain team Pokemon. Whenever rain teams are popping off in OU, he's there. Same as Seismitoad. These are rain team dependent Pokemon, not really tier dependent Pokemon. Ninjask going up to UU is kind of shocking to me. Ninjask is interesting in NU. It's like, it can be kind of good, but it just falls off really hard. It's really frail. Obviously, very fast Pokemon. Obviously has speed boost, can get Swords Dance, seems really good on paper, but it's also a bug flying type, which just has a lot of problems. Its typing in general has a lot of problems, but I think it can get Leech Life, which is kind of interesting. It's definitely underrated in my opinion, but it's never been a massive threat from everything that I've ever seen in NU. Blaziken. This is, I would go on paper to say, probably the biggest NU tier change in 2 years. Blaziken leaving NU is a massive deal. If this goes through, I'd kind of be shocked if it goes through, but I'd be excited to see what happens. The reason why this would be such a big deal is because Blaziken is so centralizing to a good and a bad extent. Now, previously, I think Blaziken needed to stay around to deal with Cosmic Power Clefable. I hate Clefable. Clefable was one of the worst Pokemon in NU. I believe right now it might be in UU, so maybe it's not an issue. Also, it got the Soft Boil nerf, so it's a little better with that, the PP nerf. Blaziken is pretty much the only good fire and fighting type, like both of those types, not like fire plus fighting. But like he's like the best fire and or fighting type in NU. I would say your best next fighting type option is Hitmontop, which is a legitimately good Pokemon, but does a very different thing. Like Blaziken's very offensive. Hitmontop is usually more utility defensive, can be like do some offensive damage, but it's bulkier. It's not meant to be like a blazing Blaziken, you know, offensive powerhouse. And then you have things like Houndoom for fire, which like Houndoom is cool, but it's really hard to rock a Houndoom on any team. It's a pretty difficult Pokemon to use, honestly. And it's a pretty difficult Pokemon to get value with without getting just one shot into a very, very frail Pokemon. It's a position with a Houndoom pretty well. Blaziken moving. Blaziken has been like the top tier threat alongside Venusaur. Venusaur's been moved back and forth for a little bit now due to chlorophyll being added, but if Blaziken gets moved out of NU, it opens up so many opportunities for other Pokemon to either A, be super abusive and hurt the metagame, or B, hopefully, maybe some fire fighting type Pokemon will rise up and actually be able to or a fire or fighting type Pokemon will rise up and be able to do what Blaziken kind of did, or at least fill that role in some way. I personally have a positive excitement to Blaziken getting moved out. I would love to see Blaziken get moved out. I think it's the time for it, since Clefable is now out of the tier. I think the biggest thing was without Blaziken in the tier, Cosmic Power Clefable just could run amok. Before, like, Blaziken was the only Pokemon you could reliably switch into Clefable and like actually take care of. Clefable is just a really, really annoying Pokemon. Anyways, because you just you didn't have enough raw damage. You just literally just didn't have enough raw damage in the NU tier to be able to shut down a Cosmic setting up power Pokemon like that. But anyways, excuse any sirens if you hear them. Apologies. Seismitoad, Rain Pokemon, we covered that. Xatu is interesting. Xatu is a Magic Bounce. One of the few Magic Bounce users we have in PokeMMO. I believe we have Xatu and Espeon. I think that's it in terms of Magic Bouncers, which is pretty shocking. Seeing that go to UU, it makes sense. I could see this being an NU or UU. It's really just because of its Magic Bounce, but it has some other utilities and such. Venusaur has access to hidden ability Chlorophyll now. Really solidly statted Pokemon, is pretty much a demon in NU a lot of the time, but is it broken? I don't think so. It's just very, very good in NU. But it might be too good base stat wise. This is a I could see this going back down. We'll see what happens. Two NUs. These are UU Pokemon being moved down to NU, it seems like. Aerodactyl. I'm a huge fan of Aerodactyl in the NU tier. I do not think Aerodactyl is broken. I actually think Aerodactyl is quite weak. Aerodactyl's most common set is usually like Focus Sash, Taunt, Stealth Rock lead. His biggest niche is being able to be pretty fast and being able to taunt other Stealth Rock setter leads and then be able to get off his own Stealth Rocks. My personal favorite set of running Aerodactyl, I am a Choice Band Aerodactyl user. It's very fun. You can go Head Smash, I believe. You can go Stone Edge. You can do some shenanigans. I believe Earthquake. I'm trying to think. Yeah, Earthquake, Head Smash, like Crunch. I don't know what the moveset is off the top of my head. Like an Ice Fang or Fire Fang if you want like some coverage. But Choice Band Aerodactyl is really, really fun. I think Aerodactyl obviously has the speed, but it almost never has the damage. It has like a 105 base attack stat, which I feel like in Gen 5 tier Pokemon is just lacking for everything else. Like Aerodactyl is lacking its bulk and everything. Like it's just supposed to be a speedy, hard-hitting Pokemon, and I feel like you really need that Choice Band to make up for the hard-hitting part. Wow, I haven't read this. This is my first time going over this, and I knew about Blaziken, so I wasn't really shocked by much else, but I am shocked by this. Blastoise getting moved down to NU. I'm gonna need the UU experts in chat to weigh in on this, because I actually just don't know. I will say flat out, I think I try to be good when it comes to talking out of my depth. I don't know if Blastoise is going to be really good in NU, really bad. I actually don't know. I don't know if Rain Dish sets, like the tank sets will be run, the Scald sets. I don't know if he'll be shell smashing. I don't know. We'll just have to see. Medicham is interesting. A huge power Pokemon where it gets most of its power. I could see Medicham really replacing the Blaziken role in a problematic way, question mark. I don't know. once again, we'll have to see. I have my least experience with UU Pokemon, so that's kind of where I usually draw the line. I'm like, okay, UU, you guys, you know, NU, I'm here with the nerds. OU, the Chads are up there. I say from them, and then UU are kind of like their own guys at a different lunch table in the middle. I'm not really UU familiar. Metacham, yeah, weird. Melodic. I actually think I think I said this like months ago. I think I said, like, you know what, on stream, I don't think Melodic would be OP in NU. It's hilarious how far this Pokemon's fallen. It's kind of sad. Like, Melodic was like an S tier, like, OU wall, back when, like, it first came out in, like, Gen 3 and, like, Marvel scale and everything. Even, like, Gen 4 and such. But it's just been crept out of existence. But I think but that's okay, you know? I think it'd actually be really good in NU. So I think it'd actually be, like, I think it would be good but not broken. It's the memes. I think Melodic might actually fit into NU very well. It depends what, I don't know what electric types we have to deal with it. I don't know if Electros is still in NU or if it got moved up to UU or what happened with that. And I don't know if Assault Vest Electros is going to be, I don't know. We'll see. We'll see how the meta adapts to Melodic. Will be interesting. Venomoth is probably going to get moved back to UU. This is a Quiver Dance user. Venomoth with Quiver Dance is actually pretty freaking good, hilariously. This is a Pokemon that constantly teeters back and forth between NU and UU, and it just really depends. But it's constantly... I've never seen this Pokemon be able to stay in NU with Quiver Dance for like more than a month, maybe. Usually it just always gets moved back to UU, so... My guess is it'll get moved back to UU. And then finally, Munya does leave an additional point that I think is worth talking about. Additionally, we are looking for a new member for Tier Council. If you wish to apply, please do so by DMing me here on the forums. If you have in the past or would still like the opportunity, let me know by bumping your prior application. Tier Council is a very important role in the community. It's someone who weighs in on a lot of the PvP balancing decisions in terms of where Pokemon should be in certain tiers. It's the council that decides the tiers. If you play a lot of PvP, there are requirements for it. I believe it's some sort of amount of matches or whatever. You can check it out here on the forums. This will always be linked in the description. It should be a pretty good resource, and if you want to do that, go ahead and go for it. I think it's a really cool opportunity to show off your PvP talent, skill, and you know, judge and decide the fit of the game. Thanks for watching. Not my usual video, but I think going over PvP tier changes are really, really important, especially one as important as this. Sorry for stumbling over my words so much. It's early in the morning. I will definitely be following up and covering, like, these PvP changes are so big. I will absolutely be following and covering these ones more and more. This is just the movement discussion. I might follow other forum threads talking about it, and I might go over once they finally decide, hey, here's what the changes are going to be for the month. These are not finalized, I want to preface. But that's the end of this video. Thanks for watching. Have a great day. Like the video if you did enjoy it. Dislike if not. Subscribe to the channel for daily PokeMMO videos. I do upload every single day. Follow for the streams on Twitch, Monday through Thursday at 12 p.m. ET. Discord's down below if you care about that. And if you want to go above and beyond and support the channel, YouTube memberships, Twitch Primes, Twitch subs, and PayPal/Venmo donations do help out a ton. Have a great day. I'll see you guys later. Peace.